All right, Miss Kaya, one second. Let me get this back up. I'm gonna make this side here. Okay. All right, you can see the presentation.
Yes.
Okay. All right, hi Kaya. I am Chandrea Pugh, a student analyst in the ABA field. Thank you so much for being willing to participate today. So sorry.
That's
All
okay.
right. Oh no, where is the camera? The camera's doing, oh, every time I click something, something else moves. We're gonna get this, no worries. Okay, so Kaya, tell me a little about yourself.
Um, Foremost, my name is Kaya. I am aspiring to be a RBT. I have went ahead and went through the process in regards to training and passing certain tests and everything like that. As far as for with the exam to actually get into becoming a RBT, I have failed that before, so I'm just trying to,
So
learn
you're
more
feeling a
stuff.
little uncomfortable about retaking it,
Yes, very nervous.
understandable. And you've done the hard part, you've done the 40 hours, you've done the hands-on. So the sitting for a test is hard, and it doesn't mean you don't know it. Just a lot of people have test anxieties and all the things that go with it. So don't beat yourself up about it. Make sure you don't give up though, and keep trying.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
So today we're going to talk about the seven dimensions of applied behavior analysis.
Okay,
If you have any questions, stop me at any time. It'll be a participation of back and forth, and I'll give examples. You can give examples, chime in, whatever you need to do.
okay,
My little things there. Okay. Why are the seven dimensions? I'm sorry, I skipped some things. All right. What is ABA? ABA is applied behavior analysis, which is a scientific approach to understanding behaviors in which procedures derived from principles of behavior are systematically applied to improve socially significant behaviors, and experimentation is used to understand the variables responsible for behavior change. So
okay,
ABA is actually a science that focuses on improving meaningful behaviors by applying proven principles and using data to understand what is causing behavior change. So it's a big way of saying that it's a scientific approach to changing behaviors.
okay,
And the seven dimensions are what ABA consists of. So why are they essential? They define what ABA truly is. They ensure practices are ethical and effective. They focus on meaningful real life change. They require
mhm,
data to guide decisions. They support consistency across people and settings.
okay,
ABA used to have a bad reputation. If you talk to like older people who sat through ABA many years ago, they'll tell you how it was abusive or they didn't like it or they had a bad experience with it. And that's because while it was still a science, it wasn't exactly regulated. So with anything with evolution and growth and learning and change, we've come down to like this is what defines ABA, and for it to be considered ABA, it needs to fall under these things. The
okay,
seven dimensions that keep ABA grounded in good practice. They are not optional. They are what define the field. When all seven are in place, we focus on helping people build skills that matter in their everyday lives. That's an important part because ABA is about everyday growth. Like teaching a kid to wash their hands in the bathroom, teaching someone to drive a car, teaching someone to stop at the stop sign before they cross the street. All of those things come down to ABA. Fun fact, a BCBA was a person who decided where you stop when you cross a crosswalk. So
Hmm.
they did trials and decided if you put it to stop here, then people will keep going. If you put it too far back, people will keep going. So where's the best place to put the place you stop before you cross the sidewalk? So ABA is used in our everyday lives.
Hmm.
When we are when we stop trying when we're not trying to stop behaviors, we are teaching, supporting, and making sure progress is real and meaningful. These dimensions are also require us to use data so decisions are not based on opinions or guesswork, and that they make sure that everyone is working together. Everyone that is working with the individual is consistent, which is really important for success. So when ABA is done correctly, there are 7 dimensions in place. It is structured, ethical, and focused on improving everyday life.
Okay.
The 7 dimensions of AB, just playing. Can you still see the presentation?
Yes, I could see it right now. It just changed to the 7 dimensions and it has all of the,
Okay.
different. Mhm.
Well, no worries. As long as you can see it, then that works. The 7 dimensions are behavioral,
Mhm.
applied, I don't know what's it, behavioral, applied, technical, conceptual, systematic, an analytic, effective, and general.
Okay. So what
Have
would be
you
the, oh, I'm
go ahead.
so sorry.
Nope, you're fine. Go ahead.
What would be the conceptual systematic? Would you be able to give an example if
We are getting there. Look at
okay.
you being all studious and working early. Have you ever heard of these when you were studying for your RBT? Did this come up for you?
Yes, it did. Some
It
of them
did.
did come up for me.
Okay. Do you remember any of them or what they stood for, what they meant?
I remember a good amount of it. I'm not gonna say that
Hmm.
I remember it verbatim because it
Hmm.
has been a little minute, but I do remember them. I do remember seeing them while going through my trainings and everything.
Absolutely. I remember seeing them, but as an RBT, that's not your main focus. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I read it, but okay, so completely understand. So first we're going to start with behavioral. Now I do want to say that these 7 dimensions definitely go in order. To
Okay.
make sure that you're following through what ABA is, they need to be in. So first is behavioral. You focus on observable and measurable behaviors. So you have to be able to see something and like take account of how many times it happened, or a duration of how long it happens, but it's definitely something we can see and we can measure.
Okay.
Behavior must be clearly defined. So that's when your BCBA comes in and give you an operational definition of what it is. So Johnny will do so and so so many times. Like it's a clear understanding of what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Allow for accurate data collection. And examples are frequency of verbal aggression, duration of time on tasks, number of completed tasks. So behavioral means we're focused on the things we can actually see and measure. We are not using vague terms like being disrespectful or having a bad attitude because those are all subjective. Me as a 40-year-old have a different idea of what being disrespectful or having a bad attitude as someone who's 20 or 11, So when you tell a kid you're being disrespectful, what does that mean? What is their household? They can say damn. In my household, that's a bad word. So you can't, you have to have a clear understanding of what that means.
Okay.
Those can mean different things to different people. Instead, we define behavior in a clear way so everyone observing would agree on what is happening. It is important because it allows us to collect accurate data and track progress over time. We cannot clearly see If we cannot clearly see it and measure it, we cannot reliably say whether it's improving. A quick example would be defining verbal aggression for any instance or like name calling, yelling, or threatening statements instead of just saying the client was being rude. So basically, you just break it down like disrespect. What is disrespect? Name calling, verbal aggression, whatever you're considering disrespect, you have to actually just name it.
Okay.
What is something in your life that you can see and measure?
Something in my life that I can see and measure would be the time that I wake up to the time that I clock in for work to the time that I go to lunch, things of that nature.
Absolutely. You know, when you can say like 5 days this week, I clocked in at 7 o'clock.
Hmm.
5 days this week, I took my lunch at 2:30. All of those things you can like measure how many times when it's happening and you can observe it. So perfect. So we talked about how you can measure that, how you can count it and why it would be important to know. So if your supervisor's like, Kaya, your attendance is off, then you can say, nope, because I know for a fact that I observed, I measured that I clocked in on time. I did this, I did that. So when you're able to track those things and you have data that you can stand on. Applied. Focus on socially significant behaviors that improve a person's life. Target behaviors are selected based on their importance to the individual and those around them. Examples are communication skills, adaptive living skills, reduction of behavior that cause risk. So, applied means when we are focusing on the behavior that actually matters in real life. We are not just teaching skills because they are easy to measure or convenient. Something, everything we choose should help the person be more independent, communicate better, or be safer in their environment. It also means we are talking about the individual and the people around them, like families, teachers, and caregivers. So when we choose goals, we are asking, is this going to make a real difference in this person's day-to-day life? For example, teaching the kids to ask for help instead of engaging in aggression is an applied goal because it directly improves their daily life. Example I like to use for this one falls under like culturally significant because we have a beautiful melting pot of the world with different cultures and different things. We want to make sure whatever goal we're working on is important to the culture of the family as well. Example, in a Black family, when grandma's in the house, everyone's going to walk in and speak to grandma first. That may not be something important to other cultures. So you need to know, like when you're working with a family, when we're teaching a child to say hello, we need to make sure we add in there, we need to say hello to grandma. Something that small can really make a difference in a family's life because ABA basically is um what's culturally acceptable, what's socially
Hmm.
acceptable. And so we want to make sure that we're respecting that when we're with our clients.
Okay.
For behavior, you said that like measuring your, making sure that you're clocking in and work and making sure you're tracking your lunches and all those things. Would it be important to know about yourself for behavior? Wait, let me read that again. For behavior, you said it was like your time management and everything. Would it be important to know about yourself and count?
Yes.
What would be something important to know about your count if you had a child? If
Hmm.
Let's come up with a
So,
different example. Let's do something else. You don't have kids. That doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
I don't
Okay. Okay. Let's look at applied again. So something was something important
know.
to you.
Something that's important, can it be more so of like, you know, brushing your teeth every morning when you're like when you wake up or
Mm-hmm.
making sure to flush the toilet when you get done using the bathroom, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Like how
Things
in
like that
some
are perfect.
yeah, like in some cultures, kids have to take their shoes off, or anybody has to take their shoes off before walking into the house.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I had a client where when you walked in, you had to give their dog a treat because
Hmm.
their dog was family. And if the dog was not happy, there was no session going on. So when you walk in, you say hello to the family and you give that dog a treat, and then you're free to move about the house. So those little things, they matter. All right, number three, technological. Procedures are clearly written and easy to follow, can be implemented the same way by different people. Ensure consistency across settings. Examples, step-by-step behavior planning, clear instructions for prompting and reinforcement, define responses, define response strategies for behavior. So technological means that everything we do is clearly written out.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else should be able to pick up the plan, read it, and follow the same way. We are not leaving things open to interpretation or guessing. This is important because consistency matters. If everyone is doing something different, the intervention will not be effective. Clear steps help parents, staff, and therapists all respond the same way. A quick example would be behavior plan that clearly explains what to do before, during, and after a behavior so that everyone working with the individual can follow the same way.
Okay.
What do you do that has steps? Does having steps clear help?
Yes, so the steps that I have would more so be like, writing it on a piece of paper, a to-do list, and then just going down one by one of that nature, or at least if I don't finish something, write off where I left off at, and
Mm-hmm.
then pick it back up whenever I get back to it.
Okay. So let's talk about, like you said, brushing teeth. There's a like if you and I are teaching someone to brush teeth, if I say, okay, you grab your toothbrush, you wet it, put toothpaste on it, then you start to brush. And you come in and say, okay, you grab your toothbrush, you put toothpaste on it, and then you wet it. That little tiny inconsistency in a switch of steps can make a whole behavior because we've taught little Johnny one way and then someone else teaches little Johnny another way.
Another way. Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's an example of like how technical that we need to like focus on following this clear plan that's been written out in the step before.
Okay.
All right. Conceptual systematic. Interventions are based on principles of behavior. Strategies are linked to established concepts. Ensures consistency within the science of ABA. Examples are reinforcements, prompting, and stimulus control. Those words should sound familiar from your RBT training.
Yep.
Okay, this means that everything we do is based on the science of behavior. We are not just using random strategies. Each intervention is connected to a known principle. This keeps our work consistent and grounded in what we know have been proven to work. It also helps us explain why we are doing something, not just what we are doing. When we understand the concept behind a strategy, we can apply it across different situations. A quick example would be using reinforcements to increase a behavior and being able to clearly explain that the behavior is increasing because it's being followed by something meaningful to the individual. Have you ever heard of ABA research?
If I'm not mistaken, I believe that I have.
Have you ever like read it or anything? Have you ever like just read an article about like ABA or anything like
Mhm.
that? Yeah.
Yes.
So, um, there's like full ABA research journals out there. They're quite amazing. But there's so many different avenues that you can go to like look up how to do prompting or how to do reinforcements or how we even came about a reinforcement schedule. So all of those
Mhm.
things are available. Next is our analytics. Determines a functional relationship between intervention and behavior change. Uses data to make decisions. Shows that the intervention is responsible for the change. Examples would be behavior decreases after a strategy is introduced. Behavior increase when reinforcement is added. Analytic means we are able to show that we are doing what we are doing is actually changing the behavior.
Okay.
We are not guessing or assuming something is working. We're using data to guide our decision. If we put a strategy in place, we should be able to see a clear change in the behavior. If there is no change, that tells us we may need to adjust what we are doing. This helps us stay focused on what is effective, not just what we think should work. A quick example would be introducing a reinforcement system and seeing a clear decrease in problem behavior after we put it in place.
Okay.
So go ahead. You got any questions for that one?
No, I was just waiting to see if you had a question for me or anything, but
Okay.
yeah, no. Okay.
So this is like once we put the other ones in place and then we check the data and we say like, is there a change? Are we seeing something? Are we seeing more behavior? Are we seeing less behavior? Is this going the way we thought it was gonna go, or is this not working at
Mhm.
all?
Okay. So it's more so of kind of like, well, I don't know if I'm wrong, but it sounds
Mm-hmm.
like it's more so of like kind of in the same concept of when you're trying to train a dog or an animal in that
Mm-hmm.
case. So like if
Mm-hmm.
a dog try to use the bathroom or you potty train a dog, if they do something good, reward them and things of that
Absolutely.
nature. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And if you're like rewarding them and the behavior's not changing, maybe that reward's not rewarding enough for them.
Yeah, maybe
So
gotta try
that's
something else.
exactly. And so this is the step where we say, wait, is this effective or is this not? You probably remember preference assessments. This
Mm-hmm.
is where it comes into play. Like, do we need to do another preference assessment, or is this preference assessment golden and is actually working? Do you check things off of a to-do list?
Yes.
Me too. I'm a to-do list type of person.
Love a good to-do list.
Does checking them off motivate you to keep going?
Yes.
So if you checked it off and you say, okay, that's done, and then you go do something else, that may not be the strategy for you to stay
Mm-hmm.
motivated. So then you would like, you know what, that one didn't work, and maybe I should try some another way. But
Mm-hmm.
if it's working, then you know, like this works for me, we can keep going with that. So that's where you will make the adjustments.
Okay.
Effective. Produce meaningful behavior changes. Results are socially significant. Changes improve the individual's daily life. Examples: decrease in aggression, increase in communication, improve independence. Effective means that what we are doing is actually working. Not just
Okay.
small changes, but changes that truly make a difference in a person's life. The goal is not just to collect data or show progress on paper. The goal is real improvements. If a strategy is not leading to meaningful change, we need to adjust it. This keeps us focused on outcomes that matter to the individual and the people around them. A quick example would be reducing aggression to the point that the individual can safely participate in school, home, and community. So that means like after we see the graph and we see it's working, then we need to see it in real life. We need to see little Johnny be able to walk in the bathroom and brush his teeth.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point of going through the programs and teaching little Johnny, and then little Johnny's like, oh, well, we're not doing the program, so I can't brush my teeth now. Little Johnny needs to be able to do the things we've taught him to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How do you know when something is working or not working for you?
It more so, I want to say it more so depends. I feel like it works if I continuously see myself doing it. If it doesn't work, then, it's just something that I wouldn't do or nor think of doing again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. A good example would be like people going to the gym. Like at first you start going to the gym, you don't see
Mm-hmm.
it working, and then once you start seeing, your little body come
Progress.
together, then you're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I need to keep going to the gym because you're seeing the reward from it. So that would be an example. And then our last dimension is not general. I cannot say this word, generality. Behavior changes last over time. Skills transfer across settings and people. Changes spread to related behaviors. Example, using communication at home and school. Maintaining skills after support is reduced. Applying learned skills in new situations and activities. This means behavior change sticks and shows up in real life. We are not just looking for progress during sessions. We want to see these skills used at home, school, and in the community. It also means that behavior continues over time, even when support is reduced. And sometimes learning one skill can lead to improvement in other skills. This is how we know the change is meaningful and lasting. A quick example would be a child learning to ask for help during therapy and using the same skills with parents, teachers, and peers in different settings.
Okay.
Have you learned a skill in a job that you also use at home?
Uh, I want to say in a way,
Okay.
but kind of not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I do want to say in a way. It'll be more so of just paying more attention to details and things of that nature.
Okay. Okay. I was thinking when I was going through it of like teaching the child to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
And once they like realize, oh, I asked for help and they do it, they do what I'm asking them to do, then that'll prompt them to start asking for more things. And that'll prevent more meltdowns because they've figured out like all I, if I ask, they do it. Like I don't even have to get mad. Like, and then they'll start to use more language and less behavior as a form of communication.
Mm-hmm.
So, bringing it all together, ABA focuses on meaningful behavior changes. All seven dimensions work together, ensure interventions are effective and consistent, support lasting through all seven dimensions. It's important to see how they are connected. This is not about using just one or two of them. All seven need to be in place for ABA to be done correctly. When they work together, we are teaching meaningful skills, using clear plans, relying on data, and making sure progress lasts. This is what high quality ABA should look like. Well, do you have any questions, Kaya?
No, I don't have any questions. I feel like the questions that, I needed to ask, I had asked it already.
Well, I've got questions for you. All right. Which dimensions focus on behavior that matter in real life?
Um, Ask the question one more time. I'm sorry. You said which dimension
Dimension
focuses
on behaviors that matters in real life.
behavioral?
Is
Oh,
A,
wait,
B, or
wait, wait,
C?
wait, 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 wait. You said it's A, B, or C?
Uh-huh.
Um, A.
It's actually B, applied. Um, because the
Wait,
other two weren't.
I'm sorry. I do have a question, but go ahead and finish what you were saying.
The other two weren't actually dimensions.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was actually B. What was your question?
Are you, am I able to see the questions and everything?
Oh,
Because
you
on
can
my,
see the.
it's still it's stuck on the seven dimensions. I was listening to everything that you were
Oh yeah,
saying.
huh. Let's fix that. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay.
Let's fix the view, maybe. Hmm.
I should have said something. I do
No
apologize.
worries. You are fine. No worries. Oh, now I got rid of the presentation. There it is. Let's move it
Okay.
over here. Did you see it when it was up just then?
Yes, I could see it right now.
Oh, you see it now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There you go.
But it's
So
not like zoomed in out. Okay,
it's
okay,
not
that's good.
this
That's good. That's good.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Can you see yourself still?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes, I can.
okay. All right. Which of these dimensions focus on behavior that matter in real life?
So I didn't look at the question again. Which dimension focuses on behaviors that matter in real life? B.
Nice job. Which dimension focus on observable and measurable behavior?
C. Either C or A.
Tell me why.
So the only reason why I want to say C is because you're collecting data based off of a behavior that the client is giving.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I want to say A because in order to, measure the behavior and determine everything, you have to see what the behavior is first and what causes it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, A.
I'm gonna go with A.
A.
A
Yeah, A.
because remember we said behavioral had to be observable and measurable.
Yep, A.
So I could see how data would definitely throw you off because you're thinking data, you saw it and you measured it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about before we do that part, like just observing the behavior. We saw it and we measured it.
Okay.
That one can be a little tricky. Which dimension focuses on behavior change and lasting over time and across settings? This one is after we've done the work and we've applied the skills, and then they're gonna remember the kid like learned they could ask for help. So then they said, "Oh, well, if I ask this, they'll just do it, and I'm not upset."
C.
Perfect. You got that one, Gary.
A.
What this means for you. Focus on skills that matter in daily life. Use clear and consistent strategies. Rely on data to guide decisions. Support skills across settings and over time. Kaya, thank you so much for
Of
participating
course.
in our training. I
Mm-hmm.
wish you the best of luck in your journey to ABA. Don't give up on it. It's so rewarding and so worth it. You'll absolutely enjoy it. So make sure you study and get back in there and take that test.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.